Assalamualaikum. For this presentation, I selected an article titled Evaluating the Effectiveness of Virtual Reality for Safety Relevant Training, a systematic review. Virtual reality or VR is increasingly being used in training and development because it provides a safe and interactive learning environment for employees. Through VR technology, employees can experience different situations and practice their skill without being exposed to actual workplace risks. This article review previous studies on VR training and evaluated its effectiveness in safety relevant training. The research analyzed a large number of studies to understand how VR is used as a training tool and whether it can improve learning outcome. The study also highlights several challenges associated with traditional training method and discuss how VR can help overcome this limitation. Therefore, this article provides useful insight into the potential of VR to improve employee learning and training effectiveness. Now, the main issue discussed in this article is the ineffectiveness of traditional training methods. According to the researcher, traditional training is still commonly used in many organizations, especially for safety-related training. However, this approach has several limitations that may reduce the effectiveness of the learning process. One of the major concerns is that employees may not be fully engaged during training session. Traditional training methods are often less interactive, which can reduce employees' interest and participation. In addition, employees may find it difficult to apply the knowledge and skill learned during training when they encounter actual workplace situation. This issue is important because training plays a significant role in employee development. When training is ineffective, employees may not develop the required competencies and skills needed to perform their job effectively. At the same time, organizations may face difficulties in improving workplace safety and performance. As a result, the resource invested in training program may not generate the expected outcome. Let's move to the causes of the issue. The first cause discussed in the article is limited employee engagement. Traditional training methods such as classroom lectures often place employees in a passive learning role. Employees usually listen to information being delivered without actively participate in the learning process. As a result, they may lose focus and become less motivated to learn. When engagement levels are low, the effectiveness of training also can decrease. The second cause is the difficulty of transferring learning into real workplace situation. Although employees may understand the concept taught during training, they may struggle to apply this concept when they face actual workplace tasks. This is because traditional training does not always provide a realistic experience that reflects the working environment. Without opportunities to practice in situations that resemble actual workplace conditions, employees may have difficulty to connect what they learn during training with what they are expected to do on their job. So, this is the impact of the issue. This issue creates several impacts on employees. First, employees may not develop sufficient safety knowledge and practical skill required to perform their duties effectively. When training is less effective, employees may only understand the theoretical aspect of their work without fully mastering the practical skill needed in the real situation. Second, employees may experience difficulty applying the knowledge and skill they have learned during training. As a result, they may feel less confident when handling actual workplace challenges, especially in situations that involve safety risks. From the organization perspective, ineffective training can increase the risk of workplace accident and unsafe work practice. Employees who are not properly trained may make errors or fail to follow safety procedures correctly. In addition, organizations may not receive the expected benefit from their training investment. Significant time, effort, and financial resources may be spent on training programs, but the outcome may not be satisfactory if employees are unable to apply what they have learned. Relevant theory. The relevant theory used in this article is Kirkpatrick 4-level model of training evaluation. This model is one of the most widely used framework for evaluating training effectiveness. It helps organizations determine whether a training program has achieved its intended objective. The first level is instruction, which is focused on how employees respond to the training experience. If employees find the training engaging and useful, they are more likely to participate actively and learn effectively. The second level is learning, which is measure the knowledge and skill acquired after training. This level helps determine whether employees have actually gained new competencies from the training program. The third level is behavior. This level evaluates whether employees apply what they have learned when they return to the workplace. Training can only be considered successful if the knowledge and skill gained are translated into improved workplace behavior. The final level is result, which is focused on the overall outcome achieved by the organization. Example include improved safety performance, reduced workplace incident, and better operational effectiveness. This theory is highly relevant to the article because the researcher used it to evaluate how effective VR training is compared to traditional training method. Through this 4 levels, organization can assess whether VR training creates positive outcome for both employee and the organization. Solution. To address the challenge associated with the traditional training methods, The article proposed the implementation of virtual reality technology in training program. VR allows employees to practice dangerous and complex tasks within a safe virtual environment. This enables employees to gain a practical experience without being exposed to actual workplace hazard. At the same time, organizations can provide realistic training experience while minimizing safety risks. Another solution discussed in the article is the use of on-demand VR training. Unlike traditional training, which is often depends on fixed schedule and instructor availability, VR training can be accessed whenever employee need it. This provides greater flexibility and allow employees to learn at their own pace. It also helps organizations reduce scheduling difficulties and improve training accessibility. As an addition, recommendation, organizations should combine VR training with a hands-on practical training. While VR provides realistic simulation and enhanced learning experience, practical workplace exercises allow employees to apply their knowledge in actual work setting. By integrating both approaches, organizations can strengthen skill development, improve learning transfer, and increase the overall effectiveness of training program. In conclusion, this article shows that traditional methods still have several limitations, particularly in engaging employees and helping them apply what they have learned in real workplace situations. This limitation can affect both employee learning and organizational safety outcomes. Virtual reality offers a more effective alternative by providing a safe, interactive, and flexible learning environment where employees can gain practical experience without being exposed to real workplace risks. Therefore, organizations should consider integrating VR into their training and development programs to improve effectiveness, enhance employee learning, and promote a safer workplace.